Hello, Andy here. Just wanted to show some gameplay of a build, that I've had most success with in this league, and it is a Blade Flurry Gladiator build. Now, of course, the main skill that we're using is Blade Flurry, and we use whirling blades to get around. I chose this build specifically because I just love the look of Blade Flurry, how our guy just like spawns all these little green ninja shadows, very anime looking, very cool. And of course, to top it off with the Gladiator Ascendancy, every time one of my enemies die, they blow up in a big giant ball of blood and guts and bones. So it's a very cool build in that regard. Now the big question, of course, is it Shaper viable? Yes, it is Shaper viable. It is Guardian viable, Shaper viable, Uber Lab viable, Uber Siri viable. Personally, I haven't done Uber Siri myself, but the creator of the build guide himself, Little Messer, he has done Uber Siri. If you want to check that out in the description below in his forum thread. But other than that, I've successfully done Shaper and everything else. And oh, actually, I haven't done Hall of the Grandmasters because that is a bit of a niche map. I think it's more catered towards PvP builds. But other than that, this is my first league playing, and this build has really got me hooked on the game in general. And I've pretty much done all the challenges with it, so it's a very capable build, very fast, and did I mention it's a lot of fun? Yeah, it is. So when it comes to mapping, there are only like two mods that you want to look out for that you pretty much can't do, and that is Physical Reflect and Cannot Leech Life or Mana. Physical Reflect, you're pretty much just going to die within the first couple of packs, or just one-shot yourself eventually, so just don't even try it. And for Cannot Leech Life or Mana, we could technically do it if it was only Cannot Leech Life, because our regen is actually pretty decent, and if you're too careful with with your Whirl Blades and your movement, you should be fine. But unfortunately, we don't have enough sustain for our mana. All of our mana comes from our Mana Leech, so just look out for those two mods: Cannot Leech Life or Mana, or Physical Reflect. Now, just to reiterate, I'm not really doing a build guide or anything of the sort. I'm just doing a gameplay video to show off the build. And if you want to check out the actual guide, it's in the description below. But I just want to talk a little bit about the cost of this build. When I was buying the uniques required for this build, initially it was pretty cheap, of course. So I was able to pretty much do it all the way up to red maps and just some pretty cheap gear. The Dream Feathers were cheap. The Queen of the Forest was cheap. I got really lucky with the 6 linking my Queen of the Forest in like 13 fusing. It's no joke. I'm sorry, don't hate me. Other than that, you just get some cheap evasion flasks. A good roomies is probably only like 20 chaos. A Lion's Roar is probably like 20 chaos or something. So it's a very cheap build overall. When you start trying to get good physical rolls on your steel rings, or good life rolls on all your gear and resist and all that stuff, of course the cost starts to ramp up. But that's like with any build, right? But your jewels, you can just get pure damage jewels and you'll be fine. But when you want to, of course, once you start getting life on those jewels, they start getting quite expensive, like probably several exalts per jewel. So just keep that in mind. If you want to get more life out of your jewels, you're going to have to start spitting out those exalts. One thing that I would say is pretty essential is that you need to get your evasion flasks pretty quickly, because you can have them permanently rolling throughout a map, and you'll have some really nice stats like 70% chance to evade attacks. We'll have 46% chance to block attacks, and that just gives us so much mitigation during a map that you feel really tanky. See right here, I'm face tanking Minotaur just fine, and I've got a lot of life leech, so I never really felt in danger or anything like that. So yeah, it feels really tanky with our evasion flasks. Of course, there are going to be some boss mechanics where you simply have to just dodge them or walk out of them, and that's why we got we got whirling blades, and with Queen of the Forest, when we got our evasion flask rolling, we got 100% move speed. So it's pretty nice synergy between all the uniques. With more evasion, we do more damage with the Dream Feathers. With more evasion, we get more move speed. With more evasion, we get a higher chance to evade attacks. So it's a very nice build in that regard. So just some closing thoughts on the build. Is it the fastest boss killing build out there? No. Is it the fastest mapping build out there? No. But I think it does a really good job at both, to be honest. And if you just want an excuse to play Blade Flurry, look no further. This is a really good build that offers speed and good survivability, and just a lot of fun. Yeah, honestly, give it a go. It can do all the content in the game, so if you really want to play Blade Flurry, I highly recommend this build. So just one last time, the actual build guide is in the description below, and if you just want to see the gear on my character that you use to kill Shaper, or just map in general, or you want to see my skill tree or my jewels, just check the video description down below. All the info is there.